Welcome to Bridal Owner Success Stories. I'm your host, Mindy Linscomb, founder of Bridal Owner Success School, also known as BOSS. Each episode of this podcast, we will dive deep into hearing the stories of successful bridal shop owners, uncovering their biggest challenges and their valuable life lessons. I can't wait for you to get to know them as well. Let's get started. Hey there, it's Mindy Linscomb, your host of the Bridal Owner Success Story Show, where we like to talk to a boss, a bridal shop owner, and somebody that's been doing it for a little while, hear their story, and hopefully encourage you that you are not the only one in the trenches doing these things. So today I'm so excited to interview Sam Karcher, who owns Magic Moment Bridal in Pennsylvania. Thank you for being here, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay. So I got to meet you because your previous owner was in my coaching program and she sold her business to you. And I would like to hear your version of that story, how you heard about a business being for sale and what made you and your husband decide to buy a bridal shop.
So this is not a story you're probably going to hear all the time. I kind of stumbled upon the bridal store being for sale. I had my daughter, and when she was 4 days old, we found out that she was diagnosed with Down syndrome. We didn't know before having her. So it kind of throws your world into a spiral of what is happening. So I had started Googling in the NICU, which you probably shouldn't do, but I did. And they said, oh, they struggle finding jobs and people don't want to hire them. And I'm like, no, not happening with my baby. So me and my husband were like, we're going to start our own business. I don't know what that looks like or anything. So after having her, I went back to my job doing international taxes, and my husband went back to his job being an architect. And, you know, we just kind of went back to our normal lives, but always looking. And I had purchased my dress from the previous owners, and they used to just be a consignment store. And then whenever my sister-in-law said she was getting married, we're like, oh, let's go back to the place I went to for the sample sale. So we went for the sample sale in June of 2023, and I was fluffing my sister-in-law's dress because one of the things I was questioning maybe doing was becoming a wedding planner. And I love the wedding industry. Me and my husband's dream has always been to own a wedding venue. So we were kind of like always in this world, but not really, couldn't find our way in, couldn't find the door. And so we were fluffing it, and Michelle, the previous owner, was like, this seems weird. So when we were leaving, she whispered to us, we're going to sell the store and nobody else knows. And it's not anybody's public knowledge or anything. So we left, and I was like, there's no way we can do this. This is too easy, you know? So me and my husband sat down, we started looking. We're like, let's just go talk to her. What's the harm? And so we went and talked and met with Michelle and Lisa, and it was possible. So we just kind of started going through the whole process of getting an SBA loan and all the things we needed to do. A lot of paperwork to get it. And we were supposed to close in December of 2024, and a few things got in our way, but we closed in February of 2024. I quit my job in December. I started working with them in November, and I just kind of was like taking a chance. I am not a risk taker. My husband is, and he convinced me to do this because he said I would be really good at it. And we didn't know what we were getting into with my daughter Maya, and we're figuring it out. So why not try to figure this out? And it's been going.
Awesome. Well, kudos to you for taking the leap and also for blessing the previous owners. I'm sure they felt lucky that they found somebody that would want to buy their business, because sometimes you wonder when you're a business owner, will I be able to sell this one day? Will I be able to exit? So they got really lucky too to find you. I feel like it was a win-win situation. So that's awesome. And I might even ask you, without going into any details, but how, like, you do not have to share super detailed on this, but how did you guys determine the sale price? Was it they came up with a number, or you came up with a number, or did you have an outside party come up with a number? Because I have a lot of people ask that question.
Mhm. Yeah, they came up with a number, and we were like, not knowing much about the business, we looked at what we could see, their financials that they like provided us, and we had to sign like an NDA and everything to like see their tax returns and everything. So we did that, and then in order to get the SBA loan, you have to do a valuation and everything. And we did the valuation, and they were like, that's way too high. And basically they found like a lot of faults in the way they were running their business. And so worked out for us, not so much for the previous owners, because we were like, oh, we were prepared for the bigger number, and we went for probably like 40% less than that. So for them, it wasn't as fun. For us, it worked out. So yeah, that's kind of, they came up with the number.
I would say having that third party though kind of makes it not anyone's fault, and hopefully
Yeah.
takes the emotion out of it, because it's like it is just at the end of the day a business. And so we got to
Yep.
be smart. Both sides of us have to be smart and decide like, hey, what's the actual value? So neither one of you are getting a bad idea or bad deal.
Yep. Yeah. Having the valuation, even if we wouldn't have had to do it for the SBA loan, especially since this was my background before buying the store, I'm like, we're doing this because you never can see, like, when you're up in the trees, you can't see the weeds. And I want to see the weeds. Like, I want to get in there and know what's going on. Especially for me, I'm like, give me the financials, give me the QuickBooks, give me everything, because that's my world I lived in. And so I wanted in there. And so I think evaluation, even if you're paying out of pocket, is completely worth it, because it is bringing in that unbiased third party that
I feel like was the key determining factor on that evaluation, because a lot of people put it on the inventory, but I actually think it's based on the profitability. But you tell me.
That's correct, the profitability, because the inventory, all like, especially with wedding dresses, they depreciate so fast. You know how they talk about your car depreciates the second it's driven off the lot? Well, wedding dresses are way faster to depreciate. They essentially become no value, because the bank doesn't want that. They're not going to do anything with that. They only want to know what they can sell it to somebody else for. And so that's why essentially we only bought the inventory at the value that they paid for it. Their business was considered of no value. And so it is very important to keep your business profitable. That's the only thing that really matters to the bank.
Yep, like what your EBITDA is at the end of the year, right?
Yep.
I love it. Well, I love that you have that business sense. It does set you up well for this industry. And then I'm so glad that we got to meet. And now that you're in our coaching program, I hope I'm saving you a lot of time on the things that you didn't know about bridal, but you knew about business.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, let's talk about who's on your team now. So you and your husband own it together, and then who's on your team now?
So when I had purchased the store, I also acquired 2 stylists, where one of them never worked for me. She quit on the very first day that I had her, when she had an appointment scheduled. So that was a, big jump into business ownership. I'm like, okay, let me figure out what I'm going to do. So
Take the bride?
I did, but then I actually, like, I still talk to Michelle, one of the previous owners, and I texted her and I was like, is there any way you can come in and run an appointment? Because I also had an appointment at the time. And I was like, if not, I'll do 2, but it's not ideal, because, everybody wants their personalized time. And so she came in, she's like, part of this is like my fault, because we kind of let them do what they wanted. And she left because she didn't like that I had certain rules. And so she left. And so Michelle came in and ran the appointment for me, luckily. But yeah.
Wow.
And then the other one, I actually unfortunately had to fire, which was, again, not something I like to do or anything. I don't think anybody likes to do it, but it's like, I'm like, oh, was not expecting this so quickly of like, 2 months into owning the store. And I'm like, okay, I had to fire somebody. This is awkward. And especially when she's not somebody that I had chosen or hired was even more awkward. But I like hyped myself up. I did my power stance. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And so,
And now everybody you've hired since is now somebody you've chosen, which is much different,
yes,
right?
yes. So I have one person that I've hired, and I joke with her and I tell her that I thought she was fake because she was just too perfect online, that I thought she was like a fake person. Um, she came to the store and we met each other. Like it was one of those weird times when I was like, I kind of want to hug you because we felt like we met each other like in another life or something. It was very weird. So she's great. And she's perfect for me at this time because I don't have the business to have a full-time stylist or anyone who's depending on me, and she actually has another full-time job. She just loves fashion and the industry, so this is like her way of saving money to buy a house. And so she's perfect for me right now because she's not needing me, and I need her, but not all the time.
Running a successful bridal shop can be challenging, but with the right support, it can also be incredibly rewarding. Hi, I'm Mindy Linscomb, founder of Bridal Owner Success School, aka Boss. After 17 years in the bridal industry, I've developed proven strategies that drive both positivity and profitability in your business. Through Boss, you'll receive insightful coaching, time-tested frameworks, and a community of bridal shop owners dedicated to helping each other succeed. Ready to boost your profitability and find more energy in your business? Visit bridalownersuccess.com and sign up for Boss today. Perfect. That's a good observation to make too. If you don't have someone, if someone needs a full-time job and you can't offer it to them, then you might not be the right match at this time.
Yeah.
But it sounds perfect. Okay, now that you are into it a little bit, like now you've experienced some pretty big things already in a short amount of time. What would you say is your biggest thing you wish you knew when you bought this that somebody should have told, or you're like, oh, I wish somebody would have told me when I bought this store what I was going to experience?
Um, there's been a few things. I'm pretty good at dealing with the brides because I think I dealt with large amounts of money at my job, and telling people, oh, you owe $1 million in taxes is also not a fun conversation to have. So I think I'm used to dealing with people not being happy with me all the time. Chaos. I live in chaos, so I don't really get fazed by that very much. Michelle always tells me that I'm very good at staying calm. Uh, I wish that somebody, I guess, dealing with the designers, like I didn't realize like dealing with certain sales reps, like certain sales reps can make you not like a designer. And I wasn't prepared for that. Like, I'm like, oh, I really like these dresses, so I want these dresses. But then the sales rep that you have to deal with, I'm like, oh, I don't like this sales rep, so now I don't want these dresses. But now I'm in like a pickle of, oh, I already signed, and now I'm committed to a certain amount of dresses. And so that's the one thing I kind of wish. Inventory in general, I wish that I kind of had a little bit
Better.
more. Yes, yeah.
Well, and I would say this is like some people don't even tell you like if you want the brand but you don't love your rep, you can talk to somebody and ask for a different rep.
Oh, yeah. Nobody tells me.
Well, Sam, you got to call me more, girl. You're in my coaching program. When you have these questions, you should call me. Okay, you have my number. Okay. All right. Next thing is, what is the biggest mistake you've made in this short time that you're like, you can laugh about it now, but it's a mistake that you're like, ooh, if I look back, I won't make that mistake again.
So this is actually kind of on me and my husband, but more him, but he won't say that. It's so small. Michelle like was literally in tears when I told her this because it's so stupid, but it costed us a lot of money that we didn't have at the beginning, with garment bags. We thought that when we ordered online, we didn't realize they were in boxes of dozens. And so we ordered like 20 dozen instead of 20 bags. So it was a lot of money, and these boxes arrived, and Michelle just happened to be there because we were talking about like closing accounts or something, and they brought in one box, and I was like, that's a lot of bags, like for 20 bags. And then they brought in 6 boxes of these really big bags, and I sent my husband a Snapchat. I'm like, what did you do? So we have like 300 garment bags, and they're all pink, and we rebranded to purple and changed our logo. But I'm like, I'm just going to use these because I don't know what else to do with all of these bags that I'm going to have for so long. So yeah, I have
Maybe make
a
them
lot.
like sample sale bags. Make them like once a year they come out for sample sale.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. But for right now, I'm still just using them. We actually have gone through them a little bit because I did have 2 like big sales. So we did get rid of a little bit of them. But yeah, that was my husband's like, these bags are really expensive. And we didn't realize because it doesn't say anywhere on there that they're a dozen. So yeah, that was really dumb.
You guys do prom or no? You guys just do bridal.
Just bridal.
Okay, so yeah, you gotta sell some more. Okay. Well, you
Yeah.
got this. You got this. What do you have on your plate versus what does your husband have on his plate and your stylist? I'm guessing your stylist just does sales.
Yeah, she just does sales. She actually has done uh 2 bridal shows. She's gone to closer to like her house. And she's split a booth with her sister-in-law who does photography, but those were really the only things. And she did all of it herself. I didn't really do much for that.
Okay.
She just told me what she was going to do, and I like said, yeah, that sounds great. I love it. And I didn't have to do anything for it, so it was lovely. I do basically everything other than my husband helps me a lot with technology and social media because he still has his full-time job as an architect, and um, he's really busy. So he can't always help me. And plus, he can't really be doing anything, like he can't pick up an appointment or anything like that. That's not really.
You do all the accounts payables, you do all the appointments, you do the marketing strategy, the sales, the dealing with vendors. Okay. Wow,
Everything.
that's amazing. What do you enjoy more than you thought? Like once you go from not being an entrepreneur, you're a 40-hour a week employee for someone else, and now you're an entrepreneur. What do you think you enjoy the most?
I really like being able to do what I want. That's like when I first started, I was like, oh, wonder if I could like move the couch. And then I was like, Sam, can you move the couch? Yeah, let's move the couch. Because it's like, who am I asking? Myself. Like, that was really hard for me to like adjust to. Like, oh, should we have a sale this weekend, or am I going to make the veil 10% off? Like, that's been weird for me to adjust to, like just literally not having to ask anyone's permission has been very weird. But I also really like it. I really love picking the dresses for the store because then when somebody picks your dress, you're like, oh, I picked that dress and you like it a lot. I think that's really fun.
Yes, I love it. And then, do you get to bring your daughter to work? Like, how does it change your abilities to be a mom and a working mom?
She goes to daycare right now, 5 days a week, so Monday through Friday. And normally I don't know if I would keep her in daycare, but I think for her, especially, like I wanted to force her to be into a routine and a schedule and used to school roles as early as possible because like I don't have any other kids, and she loves other kids and loves playing with other kids, and she's a social butterfly, so like she needs to go to daycare. but she does come over sometimes. Like if I have an evening appointment, she'll be there. And she's come some Saturdays and Sundays. Sundays were kind of like when we first bought the store, my husband would bring her over. We'd bring her pack and play, and we would do whatever we need to do at the store, moving dresses around, counting inventory, anything we needed to do. And Maya would just take her naps at the store, and we have like a high chair at the store. She would just eat there and just hang out there all day. So that was really fun. And she just loves being at the store. That girl loves a mirror. So if she has a mirror, she's good. She sits on her favorite pedestal and she just talks to herself in the mirror.
I love it so much. I love it. Now, let me ask you, because you're in your first year, are you hitting the goals that you had set for yourself? Maybe not like the biggest goals out there, but as you take over a business, are you hitting those goals that you had set for yourself?
I think I am, but I'm also struggling to like I'm still like using their numbers. I'm like, okay, I just want to do better than they did right now. So, and like obviously cover my costs, but I'm like, I want to do better than they did. And one of the things that I forgot to mention during the rules is we did bring on a seamstress at the store. And prior to me owning, they would just they had a stack of cards and they would just give them out for free. There was no commission or anything coming back from them giving out these businesses. And they would just say, pick a card and go to whoever you want. And I was like, no, that's not happening. I'm sorry, this is a business. Nobody's getting me to advertise for them for free. So, because I have now become a lot more valuable to you. So we're not doing that anymore. So I asked Michelle, who do you think on this list would benefit the most from me helping them becoming my main seamstress, and who have you heard the least complaints about? She told me the same person for both of those questions I asked her. And so I said, okay, that's who I'm reaching out to first. And I reached out to Emily, and she came to the store. We walked around the store because previously she's never been to the store. She was never inside the store. So she came, we met, she walked all around the store. She said, okay, I think this is like a good option. And so she started coming to our store 2 days a week, and it has been amazing. She has brought in so many people, because we also, as right now, we're allowing people to bring in their dresses from other stores to our store. So if you buy your dress from online, Azazi, whatever, bring it to our store. We'll alter it, because they always look around while they're there. They always are looking at other stuff. They tell their friends. We rolled out a referral program. So if you refer somebody to our store, we give the bride 10% off if they purchase their dress that day. And we send their friends $25. If they don't buy their dress and they just come to our store and do an appointment, we send them $10. So hopefully we can just try to like get as many people as we can in the door as of right now, because the previous owners let advertising and everything just go. They didn't care anymore. So people are like, I've never heard of you. I live 5 minutes from here and I've never heard of you. I'm like, okay. So just really trying to like get everything back up there has been helpful, but using their goals and having our seamstress in the store, because all of her money is collected through Bridal Live, it is like showing we're doing really, really great, and that's good. And we've had more appointments, but I think it might be skewed a little bit just because of having a seamstress, which they didn't have.
Does she just sew at your location, or does she just pin and then take it home?
She takes it home to her sewing room.
Just do a split.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I love it.
Yeah.
And you found a way to keep foot traffic coming your way. And it's really good to get creative about how can you get people in the doors. And I also am excited about all the different marketing ideas that you could probably implement that you are just getting your handle on. I mean, there is so much potential here. And how old was the business when you bought it?
They have been in business since 2015, but they have been like new dresses and ordering dresses since 2019.
Okay, great. Well, and it's good to start with something and a framework. And are you still glad you bought something versus started from scratch?
Um, yes and no, I want to say. Yes.
So can you tell us the yes and the no?
Yeah. Yes, because there are people that do know the store and they do have amazing reviews. Like coming into it, we have almost a perfect Google. It's 4.9 on Google. Everywhere is 4.9. Some of them are 5 stars. They did have the people that did come to the store did love them, and they did have really good reputation in that sense. They do have a lot of people that are faithful to them, to coming back with their friends and sisters and everything like that. So that has been very good. But in that same exact thing is everybody has a reputation with them, and some people just didn't like the previous owners, and it just sticks with them. And the way that certain things were handled during COVID is like, oh, cool, like I'm still paying for that now. But majority of it, yes, is good. And the other thing that is it would have maybe been easier for me to start on my own is I am semi OCD, and I like to know you can't take the accountant out of me. So the first thing I did was literally take every single dress off the rack and I put it back. I accounted for it and I looked it over and I was like, yep, this needs fixed on this. I have a list, a damage report list now. I'm like, okay, the train, like even something as stupid as the string for the train is broken and it needs fixed. It's written down. I'm a crazy person in that sense, but I'm like, everything here is worth something and costed me money. Maybe not the stylist or anything, didn't cost them money, but it cost me a lot of money that I don't have right now. So they need to stay as perfect as they are. And that's just how I am in my everyday life. I like things. Everything has a place, my husband likes to say.
That's awesome. Well, and you'll do well with that being a strength of yours because your numbers will be always clean and you'll really know how you're doing. So I love that. Let me ask you, if you were to write a book about your experience and the journey you have been on in being an entrepreneur and an owner of a bridal shop, what would you title it and what would the book be about?
I don't know what I would title it. I kind of feel like it should just be like, I don't know, from taxes to the dressing room or something. I don't know.
And what would it be about? What would you really want to teach people?
That you can do anything you want to do. That is literally the whole reason I started my store is I want everyone to come in my store and be exactly who they are and have fun. Wedding dressing, wedding shopping, planning, everything is already stressful. I just want it to be fun and everyone to be exactly who they are. Like that is all I want, is just anyone to come in my store and be exactly who they are and feel welcome in my store.
I love that. I love that so much. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with your daughter and her, uniqueness and just celebrating who she is. And so I love that you can go into this major adventure, something you never thought you would do, and say, hey, let's celebrate everybody that comes to our store and their uniqueness as well. So thank you for being on today's episode, Sam. I am so excited for your future and just honored to be in your circle, and I'm cheering you on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye, girl.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bridal Owner Success Stories. I hope you found some inspiration and encouragement for your own career in the bridal industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We are in this together.